All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Jack here with Creative JC. Today, I've got a great one for you. I'm going to be talking about how I earned $5,000, 5,000 US dollars on the platform Upwork in my very first 2 months on the platform, and why I don't still seek jobs through the platform. So here's the deal, guys. Upwork is a great platform, especially when you're building your business from the start, okay? The reason for this is there are a lot of clients out there that on the platform, on Upwork, right, that they're specifically looking to hire someone, okay? So you're competing against other people, but you're competing for business you know that the consumer wants or that the client wants, right? They are looking for a web developer. They are looking for a photographer. They're looking to hire someone. So now you just got to show them why you're better than they are. Okay, so let's break it down. How did I get my first job on Upwork? And I got it within the first few days of being on the platform. Well, I did what a lot of people said you shouldn't do. I competed on price. I think my first sale was like $5, but I sold it. Sold $5. I got a review. And actually, first good sale. Let me rephrase that. Actually, now that I think about it, my first sale on Upwork, it was for $15, and it was for a college kid. And he wanted a logo for this business he was going to start. Well, I created the logo. Then the next day, he cancels the project because I'm assuming he just didn't want to be in, like, he just realized he couldn't do business. He's still in college. He wasn't ready for that, right? So he cancels the contract. Well, this is after I already created a logo for him and did work. So he asked for a refund. I denied it, and he ended up leaving no public feedback. So that actually, right from the get-go, dropped me down. But then I look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. So what do I do now? My first job was a failure, right? Okay, so I can continue competing on price. So then I did it for like $5. And I did these really simple jobs, and I got a few jobs under my belt. Then I sold a logo, more expensive. I think it was like $200 or something, but I parlayed that into then doing a full branding for the same client. So I upsold, and that upsell I sold for another $1,000. So now all of a sudden my Upwork profile is showing, hey, I have 1,000 plus earned. Cool. So now that I have like some credibility on Upwork, because I show that I have over $1,000 earned on the platform, I then started really focusing on my personal website, or now the business website, Creative JC, right? And I went through a few renditions. First it was DGen Creative, now it's Creative JC. And it's really important that you have, whether you're a web designer or not, but it's really important in this day and age that you have a platform where people can go and they can see your work beyond just Upwork, right? Because think about it, if you're a business owner, right? You're coming to Upwork, it's probably your first time on the platform. You don't really care about the platform. You want to see what is this person capable of. And there's a lot of people out there, especially if, like, think about it this way, as a web designer, every web designer has a website. But for people that aren't in web design, it's almost even more important, because think about it this way. Let's say you're a creative content writer. Well, if you have a really cool website that displays that work, that's just going to stand out all the more, because how many creative content writers or copywriters have their own website? So it's really important that you can show people this other side. But it's important for another reason that we're going to get into. The other reason it's important is because when you can go, when you're on Upwork and all your clients are coming from Upwork, if your JSS, your job score, goes down, you're pretty fucked, right? So you need to get off that platform as quickly as possible. And the reason for that is because for a couple things. One, you're paying either 10 to 20% to Upwork, right, for the ability to find clients on there. And two, like I said, if your job success drops, you're going to be screwed and you won't have any other income. So I used it to start with because it was an easy place to get some initial jobs. Now, in fact, I still use Upwork, but I really only use direct contracts. And the reason for this is direct contracts through Upwork are more expensive than like a traditional payment processor. You pay 3.4% to Upwork. However, they're giving you a lot more than a payment processor. When I do my cold calls and we get into this conversation and I end up selling them, it's really good for that prospecting or that potential client the client that I'm prospecting, it's really good for them to know that that I'm not just getting the money right away. Because some of their concern is going to be like, I don't know Jack. Who the hell is Jack? Why should I give him money? When I can say, listen, it's okay. You're not giving me money. You're gonna put this money. You're gonna fund the project, right? You're gonna put this money in an escrow account, right? And then I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna submit the work to you. And if you approve the work, it's finished and correct. Then you, at that point, release the funds to me because it's in this escrow account from Upwork. And then escrow pays it. And it really helps me because now as a business owner, I'm not having to chase people down for payments. Before I'll start the project, I make sure the money is funded to Upwork. And now they act as a dispute portion. So I'm paying 3.4% versus like 2.4% for other payment processors, but I'm getting a place for escrow. I'm getting a place for mitigation and litigation. And it's so worth it. So in my first few months, my first 2 months at Upwork, wasn't quite 5K. It was 4.7, 4.8K is what I earned in my first couple months there. Just through the platform, I earned actually more than that if you count my direct contracts. But really, it can be done. It's just, I would only use it as a stepping stone. I would use Upwork primarily now for direct contracts. And it is muy bien. It is so good for direct contracts. It is so worth it, and I highly recommend you all use it. In another video, I'll get into my cold call strategy, my cold email strategy, and other ways I get new clients. But yeah, that is how I earned my first 5K on Upwork in my first 2 months.